The cages beneath Station Halberd were built for war criminals, not wounded girls with star-scarred eyes and a broken voice. But that's where they kept her. Room B-12 was colder than the rest, deliberately. The bars were neutron-dampened alloy, tested against plasma bursts. Cameras buzzed in every corner. She hadn't spoken since capture. And every shift change, the guards referred to her with one word. Savage. To Cadet Eli Ward, it was an assignment, one he never wanted. He arrived on his first day clutching a ration tray sealed in heat foil. Inside was something they called Nutri-Gel. Slimy gray slop flavored artificially like berries. It was cruel to give it to anyone. But protocol said the prisoner was hostile class Omega, and not cleared for real food. The real job, he'd been told, was not to feed her, but to observe, and to record anything she said. Eli stepped into the observation vestibule, pressed his thumb to the DNA pad, and waited as the inner door hissed open. That's when he saw her. Not hunched, not feral, not monstrous, just watching. She stood with the stillness of a predator, but her form was unmistakably feminine. Azure skin shimmered faintly under the cage's artificial light. Her arms bore markings, ritualistic, maybe tattoos. Her hair was long, braided, and dark as black ice. And her golden eyes didn't blink when they locked with his. Eli faltered. I have your food, he managed, approaching the drop chute with caution. No reply. He placed the tray on the inside platform, pushed it in, and watched as the internal mechanisms passed it through the sterilization chamber and into her side of the cage. She didn't move. Until he turned to leave. Human, she said, soft, guttural, clear. He froze. What? She stepped forward slowly. Her hands didn't reach for the tray. Why do you bring poison? Eli turned back, heart hammering. Her voice was melodic despite the rasp, like music slowed by exhaustion. It's food, he said. Her lip curled. Not quite a snarl, but close. You eat slime. He hesitated. I wouldn't. Then why bring it to me? Eli didn't have an answer, so he left. Day 2 he brought fruit. Against protocol. He'd palmed a few nutrient-rich pieces from the officer's mess. A local apple clone and 2 hydro-grown plums. Wrapped in a towel, tucked under the regulation tray like contraband. He wasn't sure why. Maybe it was guilt. She was waiting when he arrived. Wordless, still as a statue. Eyes flicking between his hands and face. He passed the tray in silence. She opened it, saw the slop. Then unwrapped the towel and paused. Her fingers touched the apple gently, as if it might vanish. Then her eyes rose to meet his again. You disobey, she said. I don't like poison either, he replied. She stared for several seconds, then took a bite of the apple. And for the first time, Eli saw a reaction. Her eyes widened, and her mouth parted slightly in what might have been awe. Sweet, she whispered. He asked the commander 1 week later why she was called Savage. She tore through 7 squads before capture, Commander Norris replied without looking up from his datapad. No gear, no armor. Just claws and fury. We lost 12 men. Any interrogation. Nothing useful. She doesn't speak. We think she's feral. Might not even be sapient by human standards. Eli didn't argue, but he thought of her words. The way she said sweet like it was a sacred word. The way she looked at him when he entered now. Not like a warden but something else. Days turned into weeks. And fruit turned into full meals. Some smuggled, some accidentally rerouted. He brought her real food, real textures, real flavor. And she ate every bite with grace. He learned her name on day 23. "Do you have a name?" he asked. She tilted her head. "You mean the sound others speak for me?" "Yes. Lyraya," she said. "Daughter of Viatherin." Eli blinked. "That sounds royal." She gave a bitter smile. "Once. Why are you here?" Lyraya didn't answer for a long time. Then, "Because I chose to fight you." Eli learned more in stolen minutes between shifts. Her species was called the Averai, an empire from beyond the Reach Nebula. He'd heard whispers about them in the academy, never confirmed. Supposedly wiped out in a failed invasion. She said that was a lie. "We didn't invade," Lyraya told him one evening. "We retaliated." "For what?" He turned away. "Your kind minds are stars. You do not ask who lives near them." Eli sat down just outside her cage. "That's not what we were told." "I know." She looked at him then. A long lingering gaze. "Why do you speak to me, human?" "Because you speak to me," he said. By day 40 they spoke like friends. Or something close. Lyraya laughed. Rare, quiet things that came only when Eli made terrible jokes. She asked about earth food and what rain felt like. He asked about her home, the floating temples of Calith, the singing beasts of her oceans. And then one day she didn't eat. He noticed immediately. "Lyraya, you okay?" She was pale, shivering, refused to touch the food. "Poisoned," she rasped. "No strength." He scanned the tray, sniffed the water. And then he ran. Eli bypassed the chain of command and burst into the infirmary with a sample. "Analyze this now," he demanded. The medic frowned. "From where?" "Doesn't matter. Just do it." 10 minutes later the results came back. Sedatives. Heavy ones. Lethal to anything with a non-human physiology. Eli's blood ran cold. He returned to the lower deck, tray in hand, and saw Lyraya on the floor, barely breathing. He entered her cage. Broke every rule. Injected a neutralizer designed for cross-species compatibility, praying it wouldn't kill her. Didn't. She opened her eyes. "You stayed," she whispered. He nodded, throat dry. "I'm here." The court-martial was swift. They found out about the unauthorized entry, the food rerouting, the breach of protocol, but not the sedative, not who ordered it. That was buried. Eli was suspended, pending investigation. But they made one mistake. They let him say goodbye. Lyraya was sitting upright when he entered, pale, weak but healing. She looked at him like he'd crossed stars to get there. "They're moving me," she said quietly. "Off station." "Where?" "They won't tell me." Eli clenched his fists. "They tried to kill you." "I know." He stepped close to the bars. "Come with me. I'll find a way." Lyraya's eyes softened. "You already gave me something they couldn't," she said. "What?" "Kindness. Name. Love." Eli swallowed hard. "I can give you more. I believe you." She pressed her hand to the transparent barrier. Eli mirrored it with his own. "Promise me," she whispered, "that you'll live, even if they take me." He hesitated. "Only if you promise the same." She nodded. And then the guards came. 6 months passed. Eli was discharged dishonorably. His name scrubbed from records. The official story was compromised by alien influence. But he knew the truth. And so did someone else. One night, after months of silence, he found a signal routed through 10 proxy relays. It was audio only. "I'm safe," said Lyraya's voice. "I escaped." Eli sat up, heart pounding. "I have allies. Far from your stations. They believe what I told them. About you." About what we can be. Silence. If you still want to give more, find me. Attached was a single coordinate, deep space. Unmap. And a phrase. Nourished not with food, but with mercy. Eli packed that night. Because the galaxy was wide.